Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match reaction. Manchester City 2, Newcastle 0, through to the FA Cup semi-finals for a record consecutive 6 times in a row, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Another piece of history in the books. Another day out to Wembley. Of course, our opponents will be, I believe it was Coventry who beat Wolves. Massive upset there. One of Manchester United or Liverpool, which played today. And I think Chelsea are in the other semi-final. Who they're against, I can't quite remember. Well, look, some interesting ties. We'll get to that when the time comes. But of course, we'll focus on this game. That has just happened, 2-0, like I just said. Before I come break this game down, if you do me a massive favour, please leave a like on this video. It'll be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. Turn your notification bell on because it is an international break. There will be time for live streams and chat if anything happens. Do come along, turn your notification bells on so you don't miss it. And of course, top line in the description, there is a link to become a channel member if you want to help support the channel further. Right, I guess let's just get straight into it. I mean, for me, myself for one, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was a very, very good performance. I thought that was a very comfortable performance. A lot has been said recently from various different sides of the fan base, a few more spoilt than others. That, you know, it hasn't really been convincing, and we've made hard work of things, and you know, it's not the same team as it was last year, which, again, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to explain it. I'm sure some of you are sick of hearing it, that, you know, last season was an anomaly. You don't beat Real Madrid 4-0 every season. You don't play to that level every season. So the whole not looking as convincing. I mean, look, it was bound to happen. Look at the players that we let go in the summer and look at the signings. I think that kind of explains the situation. But this, to me, was a very convincing performance. Newcastle barely troubled. I think their setup contributed to that. I mean, I'll get into that in a minute, but in terms of, from our perspective, it was an overall good performance. 2-0, you can say we were lucky with the 2 deflections on both the goals, but that was just the way the game was going. Newcastle had one chance in the first half. Isaac Ortega made a really good save. Apart from that, they really, really did nothing to trouble. I mean, credit to the defence, I suppose. They've caught a lot of slack this season. It's been a bit chop and change. Different systems, different personnel. But today they dealt with it. They nullified Isaac. They nullified Gordon. Gordon got taken off. Isaac only had that one chance and he missed it. And he didn't really do anything else all game. Like, that was it. That was it to a T. I mean, we controlled the game. We had the lion's share of possession again. You know, loads of shots. There was a load of shots deflected. I mean, the amount of deflections that we had leading the corners and stuff was just insane. But I guess I'll throw up a player ratings up on screen now, of course, in the comments section below. Let me know what you think. I think it kind of says more about where we're going this season, this sort of a performance, when you look at the ratings in terms of most of the central players have the high ratings and the players who are wider sort of have the lesser ratings, because that's where we win games. That's sort of where we went last season, where the wide players weren't typical wide players. The midfield was just all about control, and then just defending really, really well, defending as a team, defending as a unit, being solid. And I think we showed that. I think that's something that, again, we have missed a little bit this season in terms of consistency when doing it. Been a bit inconsistent on, you know, how we've defended at times. Some of the goals we conceded haven't been great, but this was much better. This was miles better. And that was without John Stones and Nathan Ake, two of our more consistent and better defenders. And even, you can argue, Edison in goal, who gives us more of that passing out from the back ability. So, look, defensively, it was really good. Again, the wider players sort of get not bad marks, but lower down marks, because their role in this game was more advanced. It was more high and wide rather than defensive, because Newcastle didn't really trouble. They went with a back 5. They didn't really have wingers. So really, they had not much to do defensively, which is where they get marked down a little bit low. And, you know, their strength isn't attacking. So when they were asked to go high and wide, it's not playing to their strengths, but they did okay. It was serviceable. You know, Walker doing just, you know, high-flying, overlapping runs. The crossing is still dreadful, but It wasn't a million miles an hour this time, but I don't expect him to be able to cross the ball. You know, he's in his 30s. He's never really been able to do that at a high level. But in terms of the rest of the team, like I said, Bernardo, man of the match, gets the 2 goals for me a 9. I think that's standard. I'll go through a few of the 8s, the 2 centre-halves real quick. Just, again, the whole Isaac thing, they nullified them. He barely had a kick. They defended really, really well. And not only that, but the other side of the ball, when they had the ball, when they had possession, Diaz specifically going forward and driving from the heart of defence and either picking a pass or just dribbling, which is wild. He was in the box at one point, which, I mean, I don't know why, but I can't say I was against it. So, again, defensively, really good. Midfield, we controlled it. That's what we need going forward. We need control in the midfield. I hope that this Kovacic performance, another brilliant performance, by the way, another 8, I hope that this means he gets back in the team. I really think that he's not the same as Gundogan. He's not going to get the goals, but in terms of team performance, we play better with him. He's calm on the ball. He moves it about. He really helps Rodri in the middle as well, gives him some support so he's not running around. I think that's something that early on in the season we really struggled with. Rodri looked isolated on his own because there was no John Stones, and it was kind of Alvarez in that role, and he's not a midfielder. So Rodri was all on his own, but Kovacic helps him out in there, plays really well. Foden, I said in the preview, he has to play central. He did play central. It's just, I can't speak higher of him. I can't speak higher of Phil Foden. I mean, some of the touches are just ridiculous. He's still threatening to score one of the greatest goals ever. It's coming, but not quite yet. And then, of course, Jeremy Doku, I feel like a lot of people, I've seen a lot of praise for him, and I'm just kind of happy. I'm kind of happy. His role was a bit different. He was very central in this game, which I didn't think at the start of the game was going to work out too well because it's not really his strength. But credit to him, he played well. I still think he's missing that final ball. There was a couple of times, I think there was one in the first half where he could have played Foden and he gets the pass wrong. Well, he had the choice of Foden or Haaland. He picks Foden and gets the pass wrong. So, again, that will come when he learns. Again, this is still a testing out season. You shouldn't be playing as much as he has done already. But it's a really good game, and I'm happy that he's had this performance because a lot of people were on his back. And I feel like a lot of people were being unfair. Yes, he's raw. Yes, he's making mistakes. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to continue to make mistakes. But he's a young player. He's a player that plays to the opposite of what we've been really good at for the last few years, which is control. He's not that sort of player. But he's learning. You can see the gradual progression in terms of his overall play. I mean, just look at today with the central areas he's picking up. I thought he had a great game picking up in those central areas, which is really weird. But if you go back, let's say 3-4 months to the start of the season, if you asked him to do that same role that he played today, he wouldn't be able to do it. It's natural progression. This is this thing where people just need to be patient with Jeremy Doku. That's all it is, patience. I believe that this team, you know, you throw in Ake at left back. It's not that I'm not a big fan of Vardiel. It's just that Ake is just so consistent. Yes, he made a mistake at Anfield, but that's sort of, you know, a blip. That doesn't really happen too often. You throw in John Stones as well, who is one of our more important players. You can argue De Bruyne as well when he gets back to injury, because obviously he was out for this game. And, you know, those 3 players you throw in there, and I mean, you could argue the goalkeeper, but I mean, how many mistakes has Edison got left in him before Arte gets his chance? Like, he playing well, he's pushing him, but you know, this is sort of the blueprint. The Rodri Kovacic thing in midfield, Foden playing in a central area. This is the blueprint. This is what wins us games. The wingers not being, you know, high and wide and being more controlling players. That's the blueprint. You know, Alvarez not playing various positions and just sticking to being a number 9 and backing up Haaland. That's the blueprint. That's what got us through last season. And that is ultimately what I think will get us through this season. That is what will win us the trophies. If we turn around and win things again this season, it'll be because Pep's figured out his team. And this is the mould of the team that I want to see. I feel like if you throw Grealish into that position Doku is in the bigger games, you're onto a winner. You're onto a winner. You throw a proven player who knows what to do, his teammates know what he's going to do, you're onto a winner. This team is primed and ready for the run in this season. The performances as of recent have ticked up. Yes, Anfield was a little bit lower, But the games around that, Luton, Man United, and then this game, you can't sit here and say we haven't improved our performance level. We have. And we're ready to go into the last 10 games of the league season, chasing down a 1-point deficit, Champions League draw. We know who's on our side. We've got the side of death. We've got everyone. But if you get through that, you've got a really, really, really good chance of winning it again. Same thing with the FA Cup semi-final. 2 games to go. You never know. Treble is still on. It's still on, and that's my takeaway. This team has so much more to give this season. They know there's a few more gears to go, and they're capable. They're capable of anything. That's what this game has showed me. This game has shown me they're capable of anything. They can just switch it on when they want to, and they did. I thought it was really good. Look, I'm going to leave it there. I've rambled on a little bit. You let me know your thoughts on this game in the comments section below. Interested to see what you think of this game. Please leave a like on this video on your way out. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. Turn your notification bell on so you never miss a live stream. There will be a few coming up in the international break. And of course, top line in the description, there is a link to become a channel member. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you when I see you.